The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. They'll stand hand in hand, and those who's will start singing.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah. All right, so this is talking about the animated movie, not the live action one. Just wait until tomorrow. And this is my definitive version of the Grinch. Yes, they did the live action one with Jim Carrey. Yes, they did the CG animated one with, I think it was Benedict Cumberbatch. But this is to me the definitive version of the Grinch. This was the first version I saw. And then I think the next year, I then watched the live action one. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, like whatever. And I still watch this one every year. This is the one out of all the Grinch movies. This is the one I watch every year. And here's why. I watch this every year because I was shown this multiple times when I was a kid. Watched it every Christmas, along with like another kids one, which was the Charlie Brown Christmas one. But it was mainly this one that I watched every year, and it was a joy. It was always a joy to watch, and even today, it's still a joy. And the animation, while you could look at it as like, yeah, it's a little bit choppy in places, but you got to remember time period this came out. There was no computers, so they had to do everything hand done. They had to do it basically frame by frame. So it's hand drawn animation, which is what I miss the most about animation. Is that really nothing today is animated or is hand drawn animated. I think even like the last Disney movie that I think was hand drawn was The Princess and the Frog. And I think that was the last one they did. And then they just switched to computers because it was kind of easier. And it's like, yeah, but there's, when I watch a 2D hand-drawn animated film, I can look at it and go, 1, that looks amazing. 2, the animators, like, hands, like, sweat went into this. Like, they put their all into this. And so it just is, I love 2D animated or hand-drawn animation. I love it. And not just animation, but like just drawings. I love hand-drawn drawings. This is to me, one of the definitive definitions of why I think hand-drawn animation is king in a lot of categories and why I think it should be brought back. Because there's just, it's like, yes, it takes a while, but when it's done, you can watch it and go like, wow, this just looks amazing. And this is a prime example. So if you don't know the Grinch, the Grinch is basically, he is a Grinch. They never really say what species he is, but he lives on a mountain, and their nearby town, Whoville, they basically sing all the time. And I mean, I saw this post on Twitter where somebody just posted a picture of a still from this, and it was the Grinch looking down at the town, and the text above it was just like, I think the Grinch would be a lot happier and not hate Christmas if those jerks from town would stop singing about how bad he is for 5 minutes. and I'm just like, yeah, I think that would help. But the Grinch, he goes to town and starts to steal Christmas, and then at the end, he then realizes like Christmas is not about like trees and presents, because there's the whole shot of all the residents of Whoville singing around or standing around, and they're just singing, and then the Grinch just looks at it and is like all confused, and yeah, he's like, let's see, it came without ribbons, it came without bags, it came without packages, like gift wraps, it came without everything. So that's when he realizes that the true meaning of Christmas, it's not about all those things. Now, you could fight it and say like, oh no, it's about capitalism nowadays, but that's a different topic for another day. But he's realizing that the true meaning of Christmas is being together. It's not about that everything besides that is a bonus. It's about just being together. And one of the things that I think is absolutely missing nowadays with the holidays, not just Christmas in general, but with holidays. And I think Boris Karloff's voice acting, and especially him doing narration for this, he does a fantastic job. If you don't know who Boris Karloff is, go back to the Universal Monsters. Go back to that. But he did a terrific job voicing the Grinch, but also narrating the whole thing too. And another thing that I don't think gets a lot of credit is during the kind of montage of him taking everything away, there's so many like sight gags and like so many clever things that he does. Like he uses a candy cane as like a pool cue and shoots the ornaments that look like pool balls. And it's just kind of funny. And like another one where he's winding up all the toys and they're walking directly into his bag. It's stuff like that. It's kind of funny. And so it's those kind of things. It's just like, it reminds me of like the old like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry cartoons where there was no dialogue, there was just music, and they would play up to that. And so the animators just were, it was like the animators were the writers for those shorts. This is very much in that same category, and something I think is missing in animation these days. The song, the "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," it's classic. It's always classic, and it's so fun. It's always funny. It always gets a chuckle out of me when I hear the lyrics, because there's certain parts in the lyrics where it's just like, wait, what? That made no sense, but I'm just going with it because it's funny. So it's a certain charm to this that I think works so well. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then the very end where, everybody comes together, including the Grinch. He realizes the true meaning, like his heart grew. There was a three times bigger that day. And so he realizes the true meaning of Christmas. Like, oh, it's not about all this stuff. It's not about presents. It's not about, anything like that. It's about coming together and just being, good to one another. And that just always puts a smile on my face, because it's just like, that's what it is. And this, I mean, I have no flaw with this one at all. So it absolutely gets an amazing. There's no flaw. There's just no flaw from the animation, to the voice acting, well, it's very little, and it's mainly Boris Karloff doing it, to the song, to the visual gags they do, and overall the message. You know, it's timeless. This is timeless. This will live on for generations and generations, and I honestly think this will live on forever. And it's a fantastic not just Christmas thing to watch, but just a fantastic thing in general.
I must stop Christmas from coming. But how the Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.